Hey guys, how's it going? Wow. Man, oh man. What a day last night, huh? What a night last night for some of you. Some of you it was a day or whatever. It was quite an experience, wasn't it? Boy, I guess we're all getting a sense of what's ahead for us. I always remember that movie from Wall Street, when Gordon Gekko says, look, man, it's trench warfare out there, pal. And it is. I mean, these guys are just out for blood, aren't they? I don't know what else to tell you. We are in a fight. And it has just begun. It has just begun. And I think a lot of people are finding themselves a little ill prepared for it. I kind of warned you in the last video that this stuff was coming, and sure enough, here it is. I will say in that last video, I kind of assumed they'd wait till after the holidays, but I guess not. They decided, and I should have figured this part out too, is, they decided that, they'd use the low liquidity during the holiday hours to kind of put a punch a hole in Bitcoin. Now, when I say they, it kind of sounds like a big conspiracy kind of issue. It's really just market forces at work. It's not, I really do not like to promote conspiracy theories out there. I'm not a big believer in them to begin with. I just think it's individuals doing what they think is right. Whether they're right or wrong is another question, but it's just people out there doing what they think. And, along those lines, I really wanted to just say something here and speak from the heart. I mean, look here, this is gray hair, right? And a lot of you guys are used to these old guys, not really appreciating what you guys are up to. With cryptocurrency. This is just a phenomenal thing that you guys are doing. And I just feel like it, maybe if you could just hear it from one old guy. I know your parents aren't smart enough to figure out what you're doing. I know that a lot of the intellectuals up in the Ivy League, up in the Ivy halls of the universities aren't smart enough to figure out what you're up to. But I just want to tell you, I guess, you can hear it from one guy here, at least one old guy. Man, this is cool stuff you're doing, and you're fighting for your lives here. And I don't know what to tell you. I just think it's great. Keep it up. Let's just keep at it. Okay. I don't know how to word this any other way, but if you don't understand the concept of digital scarcity to begin with, what this means in a cut and paste world where anything can be duplicated and anything can be immediately cloned, right? How incredible digital scarcity is. Even if you think about the economic considerations of scarcity that have been thought about over and over and over again throughout history, what scarcity itself means. If you just take it from a computer science standpoint, digital scarcity is a revolutionary thing for us to be able to make individual things that only certain amounts of people can hold and that can have value. First, that's another thing, have value, right? This is something I've been trying to get at to people is how would, in a cut and paste world, what's valuable, right? So if you don't have a blockchain and you don't have all these different things that are creating some kind of scarcity, you don't have value. Now, the other thing is that we've got a new commodity in town. Things have changed so much in man's evolutionary history, I guess is the way to put it. But data is a commodity, okay? And if you don't think it is a commodity, then go talk to Google. If you don't think there's a way to make money from data, then go talk to Google. Go talk to I guess Yahoo or any of these other groups, Microsoft, all these people. Data is a commodity, right? Now, what is a token? A token is just a a unit of measure, right? That's all it is. All it does, it's just, that's all it is. What is the real commodity here, right? Is the actual ledger itself, right? The ledger itself is the commodity, right? So when you I don't know how to put this to anybody any other way. When you got somebody out there talking about unlimited block space, okay, block space is a commodity. And so when they're talking about unlimited block size, all they're doing is giving you the same old Keynesian nonsense that you've heard all your life. Okay? The token is just a unit of account. All right? It's the ledger that's the commodity, right? Having space on the ledger is the most important part of this whole issue. And if you're going to make that unlimited, it doesn't matter if your coin supply is limited. If you're going to make block space unlimited, it's the same old thing. It's just cut and paste all over again. And just mark my words, the people who are going to try to make unlimited block space, okay, are also going to have unlimited token supply. It's going to be the same old, it's just going to be the same old nonsense that you've had all your life. Now, are you not, if you don't get this, I don't know how else to explain it. I was listening on NPR today, and I just found out that life expectancy, they were saying, life expectancy in the United States, right, has actually gone down the last 2 years. I mean, in this modern country of ours, where we were so used to life expectancy going up, 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 in the last 2 years, it's actually gone down. And they attributed most of that to the drug crisis, the opioid crisis in particular, right? And it's just killing people. Now, in your head, if you cannot get the connection between the destruction of the systematic destruction of value over time and this constant risk shifting, right? If you can't understand how that leads directly to an opioid crisis, I just don't know what to tell you. You need to go back and do some thinking. You need to go really sit hard, take a weekend off, and think about it for a minute, because it's just amazing how people can't get it, right? This is the blood value is created through blood, sweat, and tears. If you constantly diminish this value, people are always constantly chasing after value. They have to have something in their lives, right? Some kind of value. Everybody does. And you constantly just diminish it. Just keep on getting rid of it. Okay? Like it's nothing to anybody. And so, no wonder your mom can't hear you when you talk about Bitcoin. No wonder your dad laughs at you when you talk about digital scarcity. You know, and then, or what if you're like, we'll say, well, we need to educate the parents about life expectancy, or educate the kids about drugs. They don't have time. They're busy paying debt. Nobody has time for anything anymore because of the systematic destruction of value. Okay. And the people who get up and have the nerve to get up and fight this, it just blows my mind. And they're desperate. And these last two, that if yesterday wasn't proof of just how desperate things are, I don't know, then nothing is. Okay. So I'm just going to show you. We'll just go over a few things. I didn't want to spend a lot of time on this video, to be honest with you. I just wanted to go over a few really, amazing things that have happened in the last few days. And for most of you, you're probably feeling pretty depressed. I don't know what to tell you. All I can tell you, this is the only game in town, right, guys? So, you better just write it out. I guess it's got to be stressful. You know, part of the struggle is making, you know, if you look at anti-fragility, part of that is the struggle is important. So maybe all this is necessary. So anyway, let me just share the screen here a little bit. Let's see what I got here. Okay. I'm going to show you guys something that's just amazing for me. Okay. And yeah, I know all you guys are out there. You're out there. You're mad at Coinbase. Fine. So I'll get to that subject later. Let's talk about this puppy right here. I want to show you something. And then I'll get on to Coinbase. Let's go to the futures. I like the futures. Wow, since futures open. What do you want me to, what do you want to say? Since futures open. You know, in the last video, I warned you guys about this. They're just shorting you with infinite money. This is how they destroy value, right? It's just right in front of your face. You got to fight them back because we got a ledger. We got more power. But you guys, a lot of you are just, you're afraid now. You just can't believe what happened to you. So anyway, go back and watch my video. There was a lot of stuff right. There was a few things wrong. I don't mind telling you when I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot. Okay, I'm not here to be right or wrong. I'm here to show you guys how not to lose money, right? I lost some money today. I can't tell you, but it's all paper. I just don't even care. It's just paper to me. It's just a fight. And I'm willing to wage it. But I want to show you guys how not to lose money. I certainly have not lost any money. Okay, so not a big issue for me with this stuff going down. If you guys are crying about this, you know, you were popping the cork at 10K, weren't you? You popped the cork at 10K. You were so excited. Well, you're at 13.9 today and you're crying. That's market psychology, right? That's what they did. You remember the last big dip? Who bought the dip? JP Morgan. They ran the prices up. JP Morgan ran the prices up and gave you this crash. That's how they do things. That's how they do it. How do you feel right now? You're miserable. That's what they want. It's the end of the world. That's what they want. They're talking you out of your coins, buddy, because everything is everything. Block space right now is the commodity. All right. And if you don't have it, you know, then it's the difference between the haves and the have-nots, right? This is the new commodity in town. You got to have the block space, right? They just want you to give up your coins so they can have the place on the ledger. You don't have the place on the ledger. It's just that simple, okay? So, but look, I'm gonna show you something. Let's just head over here so we get it. Let's see. Let's draw ourselves a little rectangle. That, my friends, is a beautiful reversal candle. Okay, and it's a monster. It is a monster reversal. I can't remember seeing a reversal candle that size. Okay, and yeah, that doesn't mean we're not going down further. Okay, but this is a sign of what's coming. What's coming, right? Maybe we'll go down. We could go down as far as $8,000. Okay, in the last video I warned you what your risk was. Okay, we could go down even lower. I don't know. Okay, if that number bothers you, you shouldn't be in this game. That's all I got to tell you. Okay, so let me just show you something here. You guys remember the election day. Well, that was a while back, so I don't know if you remember. A lot of you guys don't even remember back to the last dip when JP Morgan bought it. But anyway, let's just see what I can do here. Let's get out of this. You see that puppy right there? Now, this is probably a little different scale, But first of all, this is a weekly candle, okay? But look at the date on just this candle. 11/07/2016. What is that? That was election night. This is what I call the Trump hammer right here, okay? Now, what happened during this hammer? Well, you know, when it looked like Trump was going to win, most of Wall Street, most everybody else, I mean, most people thought, well, that is bad news for the dollar. Trump's going to win and Hillary's not going to win. And that's bad. And I don't care what your politics are. I don't care about if it's Trump or Pelosi. It's all BS to me. So anyway, I just want to do something here before we go. Let's just take this. I want to get this. I want to get that rectangle off of there. Okay. Look at that puppy. Actually, let's do that just to make sure so that you guys know I'm pointing at the right thing and nobody's confused here. Look at that. That's the Trump hammer. Now, in that little hammer right there, when it first broke out, it looked like the dollar was roofing. It just, I mean, not roofing, but it looked like the dollar was crashing. I mean, this is huge. I don't know if maybe you guys aren't used to Forex, but this sucker is a monster. I mean, this is a hurricane, okay, in Forex. I'm just not kidding you when I say that, all right? And everyone thought the dollar was crashing. And the news media at the time, up here really high, were all showing how, you know, the Dow, how the futures were down. It looked like the market was going to crash. It actually rallied the next day. And then the dollar, if I remember correctly, it rallied the next day. And then the dollar went south. Okay, so this is the Euro USD, by the way, Euro USD. And then all of a sudden, everything just changed. And I remember too, because I was when that happened, I just said, well, I got to go short the dollar. I mean, it was in my head too. Let's just go short the dollar. And I was up here, and then all of a sudden, I thought to myself, you know what? This isn't right. It just doesn't seem right. I was looking at the trade. I was looking at the way they were trading the numbers. And I said, something's not right here. And I saw the drop, and I'm like, this shouldn't be happening like this. And I thought, you know what? These guys are probably going to think that a Trump victory is going to be great for the economy. And so they're going to start buying the dollar, which is what they did. Okay. This is what I call the Trump hammer, whammo. And this is just, you know, these kind of things are just amazing, an amazing measure of the shock that hit the whole planet, you know, when Trump won. And there you go. Bango. All right. That's huge. That's on the weekly. Okay. I believe. Yeah. I just did that weekly. It actually, if I did the daily, that candle would look even more horrendous. And on the daily chart here, let's see. Let's go back to the futures here. Now, I got to get out of annotation again, so I'm going to do that. All right. Look, let's go back to the. Oh, I just got rid of the screen share. Oh, well. Let's go back to screen share. You have to be patient. It's late at night. I was up late. You could tell probably I'm a little tired. But I just wanted to get this video out so you guys could see it. All right. So let's just, I think we got it all cleared out. Let's see if I can get, there we go. Bitcoin. Let's see, that's an hourly. Let's go to, hopefully this won't freeze up. So, let's go to the daily. There we go. Guys, this is a demo account, okay? I don't have 50 BTC. I wish I had 50 BTC. Yeah, this is probably going to take its sweet time now. This is the thing about Simple FX, the web interface is just terrible. They just got a new app, so that's pretty nice. I like that. So there we go. This sucker is a monster. This is a hurricane. Okay, this is a freaking hurricane. I don't know what to tell you. This is amazing, this candle. Okay, and it's a reversal candle typically. Like I said, like, you know, just go back and look at let's go look at the Euro USD. I mean, it was rallying up for the most part. Yes, it was headed down, but man, look at that. Now all this, yes, it all rebounded and actually went higher. I could get into more and more detail about that, but this has a lot to do more about other factors. But this is an amazing move in currencies. Okay, this is beautiful. Okay, wouldn't you like to be short from here? Okay, and that's the other thing. Who were the guys, right? I can tell you it wasn't me. It wasn't me totally, right? There were other guys too who just looked at that and went, "What?" Okay, but who had the guts to do it? Who did that? Okay, who did that? Who made that long, pretty little wick on this thing? Who looked at that and said, "This is it. This is the dip," and took it? And look at what they got. Okay, who was brave enough? Most of you guys right now are biting your nails and you're nervous and you said, "Oh, I can't wait to buy the dip. I can't wait to bite the dip. I can't wait to buy the dip." And here's the dip, and you just are scared to death to go in and get it. All right. So that's market psychology again. Okay. So back to Bitcoin. Now, I'm not giving you financial advice. That's first of all, number one. I'm not telling you when to go long or when to go short. And I'm definitely not going to call these markets. I'm just not going to call these markets because, like I said, I can be right, I can be wrong. And not a lot of other guys are going to tell you that, right? I can be right, I can be wrong. That's not the issue. The issue is, am I managing my risks? Are you managing your risks? Okay. How do we not lose money, right? I know when I'm out. I know when I'm out. Okay. Do you know when you're out? You probably don't. You don't know what your exit is. Like when does it just hurt too much? Okay. So we're doing pretty good. That's not to say we won't head down. You remember I told you last time we're at, I told you we could hit those bottoms at any time. But now here's the really cool thing. Okay. This is on the daily. When I did the video, we were up here talking about these kind of numbers, and I was telling you at any time, we could be down here. But here's the really neat thing. When we were talking about that, this was wide between the upper band and the lower band. Okay. Now, somebody says, I just don't get all these Bollinger Bands, all this stuff. Can you explain it more? And I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go over that more in later videos. But, you've got a Google search engine just like I do. Okay, you can go learn about these bands. Now, that's not to say that they're going to have the same way of analyzing, looking at the charts that I do. I've been looking at these charts since the 1900s. Does that sound old? Okay, so I was looking at these charts a long time. And these things I'm telling you are just kind of things I've seen. I think probably if you follow, which I recommend following, John Bollinger, the one who actually invented the Bollinger Bands and actually is trading Bitcoin, which I thought was amazing. The guy had, who I've been following since the 90s, has the gumption to trade Bitcoin. I just thought that was beautiful, that old guy doing that. It's good to see us old guys in there who get it, and I just I don't know what to tell you. I know there are a few of us. I wish the old guys would and the old gals would smarten up, but they're not going to. And part of it, a lot of it is pride, but also a lot of it is just they don't have time to think about it. They just don't have time to think about it. They just look at it, look it over for 15 minutes and come to the conclusion, it's a bubble, it's this, it's that. They don't have time to think about it. They're busy. They're on that treadmill just like you are, right? And they definitely don't want to give you kids a break, it seems like, and just give you a pat on the back that you deserve. So, but anyway, when I was telling you, there was just a lot of risk in there. Well, these bands have narrowed. The risk is narrowed here. Now, the question is, which way are we going with this with this risk? Are you long or short? That's the question. So where's your risk and which direction? Okay. It's hard to gauge for sure. When I look at this, my tendency is to go long on this. And that's what I'm going to do here probably pretty shortly. I'm just waiting for a little bit more momentum here, and I'll probably long this coin, and we'll see. With a candle like that, I just can't ignore this. I've seen these before, and you cannot ignore them, and you just got to take your shot. That's the way I feel about it. You're going to have to make the decision on your own, and you're going to need to learn to manage your risks on this one, okay? But just, I don't know what to tell you. Historically, if you go through it, just go back, do some back testing, go look at that. When you get a pattern like this is like, hey, pay attention, cowboy. Something is going on, okay? And sure enough, something is going on. And last time, the last video, I said I wouldn't be surprised to be seeing 30,000 on this. I'm still optimistic. I know we're, at the very least, probably we're going to go up here and at least, maybe do it, especially on a bull market like this. It's hard to imagine that we won't try to at least double top, right? So it's not the end of the world yet. Maybe. I don't know. Okay. So that leads me to Coinbase, which, so I'm going to start with simple facts. So I've seen this before. I have seen this game before. And where did I see this game? It was when retail Forex first started coming out. And I had some real interest in it because it looked, at the time, it was like, wow, a guy could get into Forex here a lot better. The barriers to entry are really much lower than any other markets. And it looked interesting. Well, almost all the brokers who pretty much at the time were the same as like Coinbase and all these other guys, they were really kind of exchanges because they had dealing desks where they quoted you prices that they were willing to let you buy and sell at, right? And so, the dealing desks were there. So they were really kind of exchanges like Coinbase is. At the same time, they were acting as brokers. And a lot of these things just collapsed, okay? Now, the markets didn't react to these kind of collapses as much as it happens in Bitcoin, because our exchanges, our price discovery is a fundamental part of the whole thing, right? But Forex had been around for ages, before retail Forex started showing up. So it didn't collapse Forex markets. The Forex markets didn't suffer. But man, if you were in these and you didn't pay attention, you suffered, and you suffered hard. Now, the question here with these exchanges, I wrote an article on it, and I'll leave you the link. I'll put the link in the description. Let me just make sure I can get to it before I go blab my mouth. This is cointimes.tech, okay? So this is months ago. Let's go look at the date. Let's see if we can get this slow. Here's some of my blogs here. Avoiding a crypto Black Monday. The views on this isn't accurate. I don't know what's going on with the view counter on our over there, but anyway, I've gotten a lot more views, but it's still, for the most part, this article, which was written just months ago, warning everybody about these exchanges and what the heck's going on. It got the attention of about the same amount of attention as a blade of grass in a football field, as I posted one of my tweets and said that. And where I was talking about how we could see a Black Monday similar to what we saw in the 80s, in 1987, the big stock market crash in 1987, and they called it Black. Some people called it Black Tuesday, some people called it Black Monday. Kind of depended where you were at the time. Okay. And if you get a chance, go back and read the article, and you'll see it's pretty accurate. We're seeing the same thing here. I saw the same thing with retail Forex. It is the only thing I can tell you is if Coinbase goes down, the markets are much more resilient today than they were during Mount Cox, and we've had this problem has been a consistent problem. We're just going to outgrow it eventually. That doesn't mean it's not going to cause problems. I don't know if it's going to cause just outright. It'll probably cause some chaos, but I'm not sure it's going to cause an outright collapse. Okay, we'll wait and see. But the crypto markets are a lot more resilient, and we still got Bitcoin, which I talk about down here. It's acting as a reserve currency. It's doing its job. Okay, and it's doing that with digital scarcity. And you guys complaining about the high block fee. This is scarcity. I don't know what to tell you. You pay for it. You pay for your time on the chain, guys. And if you've made 30 or 40K off of Bitcoin and you're complaining about your high fees, I don't know what to tell you. Whatever. If you're comparing Bitcoin to Western Union, I don't know what to tell you. If you're running into fiat, panicking into fiat, that's just where they want you, right? You're back on that treadmill of diminishing value. Go ahead. But I tell you what, when lightning comes and all these other things come on, right, you're going to be able to walk in and buy your cup of coffee. You're going to go to your 5-star restaurant. You're going to be able to spend your Bitcoin, and you're still not going to want to spend it. Okay, so that's just the way I think about it. I know a lot of you guys, you don't want to hear it. So, but it's patience. This is a risk-sharing modality. It's not a risk-shifting modality, so it's different. If you're out for the Lambos, the Lamborghinis, and the great rich life, I don't know what to tell you. I probably can't help you very much for now, anyway. But in the future, if you've got your coins instead of this money, we're headed. And this is the thing I keep trying to tell people. Bitcoin is reflexive to geopolitical shifts, geoeconomic shifts, and we've got some big ones on the way after the holidays. I don't care what anybody says. We have got huge issues coming. I wonder if I could just show you that for a second. Do we have time? Let's just do this. Let's just take... this is going to be a little noisy, guys. Sorry. Let's see if I can do it real quick. Gonna have to add. All right. I'm going to do a more elaborate chart, and I'll post it on Twitter, maybe even do a blog about it. We'll see, so you guys can get it. Wow. Let me just try this. Okay, let's look directly at the S&P 500 index. Look at that. Yeah, Bitcoin's the bubble, right? Okay, well, let's just look. Let's compare. These comparison charts, if you're a Forex trader, if you're a Bitcoin trader, I mean, there's just amazing, wonderful little things that you can find if you learn how to compare things. Let's use the Coinbase. Since we're talking about Coinbase, let's use the Coinbase index. Okay. Hold on, guys. I want to make this a little more easier to use. Let's see if they'll let me. Yeah, they're not going to let me. Okay, well, we can do it without it. I was wondering about that. Let's see what I got here. Maybe I'll just, yeah, they're not going to let me budge. All right, fine. And this just, look at this, guys. This just caught up to the S&P 500. Look at that, S&P 500. And look at this, Bitcoin is dipped down hard away from the S&P 500. And this is in terms of pure percentage gains. Okay, let's do the logarithmic scale just to lock this in. Okay, so we dipped pretty hard against it, but look at that sucker. Now this is a 280B market. Okay, this is in the trillions. I think like 20 trillion plus is the S&P 500. But Bitcoin is supposed to be the bubble. Bitcoin is the bubble. Look at that. Bitcoin is the bubble. You tell me what the bubble is. This is what I call a zeitgeist. This is what I call a mania. Okay. This is the bubble right here. Are you not getting that? Nobody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about Bitcoin. No, I'm so glad. And here's going to be, you mark my words, when this thing starts to head south on this S&P 500, okay, they're going to blame Bitcoin, right? They just love to confuse the hell out of you. I don't know what else to tell you. They're going to blame, it's going to be all Bitcoin's fault, for crashing. Just give up your coins now, guys. Just give up your coins now, all right? But oh, no. This isn't the bubble. This isn't the bubble at all. This is the bubble. Bitcoin's the bubble. Give me a break with that. Okay. I'm going to do a little more elaborate chart. So you guys look out for it on Twitter. So anyway, I'm thinking I'm done, except I want to show you something too. Okay, so let's go to BCH. You guys are fighting amongst each other. It's so typical in bull markets. You guys loved each other so much, hugs and kisses during the great bear markets. Roger Ver was the Bitcoin Jesus, and and oh, how you loved each other. We all work together towards a common cause, and then we got ourselves a nice, pretty little bull market, and you all hate each other. It's just so typical. It's just so typical of bull markets. It's just over and over and over again. Bull market. This is what happens in bull markets, guys. And then when you got your bear market, you guys will be kissing each other and hugging each other. And I love how you guys. I can't stand how you guys run around screaming at each other on social media, and then you go to Bitcoin meetups and everything, and you're all huggy and kissy, and where are the fights during the Bitcoin meetups? Where's the screaming and yelling and calling everybody idiots and all the things you do when you actually are face to face? You don't have the guts to do it, but sure as heck you don't mind doing it on social media. Anyway, that's another thing. So anyway. Typical nerdy behavior, guys. All right, that is a reversal candle too. Look at that monster. Are you guys ready for the idea that Bitcoin Cash could go to 20K and Bitcoin itself could go to 30 or 40K, or the reverse, Bitcoin Cash go to 50K and Bitcoin hover around 35, 40? It's just not even in your imaginations, is it? Not that I'm real keen on Bitcoin Cash. I think they got a harsh lesson to learn about this unlimited block space crap. It's Keynes in wolf's clothing, or is it Keynes in sheep's clothing? It's just whatever. It's just Keynes again with this unlimited block space. Let's just print money all we want. Have as many coins. Mess with the difficulty rating with the difficulty levels so we can have more coins now. Well, what are we going to do later? Well, we'll probably just make more coins. I'm sure as I'm sitting here, that's probably what they'll do. But anyway, it looks like there's a future here in the Bitcoin Cash too. Let's go to simple FX. I didn't want to bring it. XRP is a freaking mess. Look at that. And you guys on XRP, you're sitting there and you're just high as a kite. That is a mess. Let's go back to Bitcoin Cash. Look at the risk on Bitcoin Cash. Pumpy dumpy, what a mess. Nice breakout, but man, this breakout, and you guys are all chasing that breakout, I'm sure. You know, you'll try to hope for new highs here, but I don't think you'll see new highs until you see right here. What a mess. Back to simple FX, Litecoin. So just because you see a reversal candle doesn't mean we're not going down hard. It just means that we're doing pretty good. Okay. We'll may see higher prices. Litecoin, look at that puppy. What a monster. ETC. I need to go to the daily so you can see ETC. I only got time to do a few. Okay. Yeah. Look at that. Beautiful anti-fragile moves. Why would I ignore that? Why would I ignore that just because of this? And most of you would. I'm not ignoring that. And if you remember in the last video, I told you guys, look, we're going to see 30. Well, I don't know. It looks like we saw 15. And then, you know, I have to tell you, I took a lot of bites up here because I saw higher prices. But I closed them out quick because I still had 30 in the back of my head, and I'm glad I did. Man, look at that whopper, but look at that candle. But look at all that anti-fragile move. We're going to just ignore all that. That's all gone, right? No, it's not. No, it's not. I think we do better on ETC. We'll see. I have no idea. I don't ever pretend to know. I just know. I just got little tricks to make sure I still have some money at the end of the month. Okay, guys, that's it. I'm feeling done here. I hope I got my point through. And we'll talk soon. Okay, thanks.